Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Thanks for coming out. I spent a little time today working on the 11 units that I had bought for $170. I went around and basically oiled up safety brake cables, messed with that a little bit, and then I took an opportunity to clean up the Craftsman that ended up starting. And we're going to walk down and look at that one next. I made that one look all pretty. It's a 2012. You probably don't recognize it. It looked pretty rough, but it did start. Wheels were in the low position. The wheels were all dirty. I cleaned those up with Pine Glow from Dollar Tree. Cleaned up the recoil. Didn't do any carb work since this one started, although I may take a fuel sample out of the tank and see what that looks like. So on this one, I still have to change the blade. We had turned this on its side to check blade condition. The blade was slightly bent, I noticed. I picked a mark on the side of the deck and rotated it and noticed that both tips did not cross over the same point. So one side was lower than the other. So I want to tell you guys about an auction. I'm going to donate a couple of push mowers to a charity auction coming up here in Sarasota, Florida, at the Sarasota Fairgrounds. It'll be held in the Robarts Arena, which is on the site of the fairgrounds. So coming up, the 25th annual Florida Haiti benefit auction will be held. It's put on by the Amish and Mennonite community of Sarasota. They have an area of the county called Pinecraft, where the Mennonite and the Amish folks come down from up north. They spend the winter here, and then they go home in the summer. Most of them go back to Indiana, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and spend their summers up north. So one of my customers is actually part of the group organizers of this auction, and he kind of organizes the tool part of the auction, tool sale. You're going to have anything from quilts, homemade this, homemade that. They got tools that are donated, and also tools that have been bought at liquidation auctions. Home Depot and Lowe's, once they take something in, they can't resell it as a new item. It goes to a liquidator. Well, the auction buys some of these pallets full of tools and auctions them off to raise money for the people of Haiti that are in need. So he invited me to go last year. I went to the tool auction. I didn't stay the whole day. I had mowers to fix. But notice they didn't have any mowers for sale. There was no garden equipment other than a few battery-powered weed whackers. So I told my customer I'd like to donate a couple of mowers so they can put them in the auction, and I think this Craftsman will be a good candidate for the auction. I have put together a few other mowers. I may do 2 or 3 donated units to the auction, so hopefully they can raise some money with these previous turds that I cleaned up. I think this Craftsman will be a good candidate for the auction. So let's walk around and look at my other candidates. But before we get there, I was out working on the mowers. A couple of guys stopped. They said they live 4 houses down. They said, "Oh, do you fix mowers? We see you out here all the time. Can I drop this Turo off and have you look at it?" So I told him I would. I really don't like outside repairs. I got enough stuff of my own to fix and sell, but I told him I'd do it. So he said there's a linkage missing in the carburetor. He said a Phillips head screw in here. I think it's part of the choke system. He's missing a linkage. He said it's leaking gas. He only puts enough in to cut the grass. I just moved it here and tried to roll it. It doesn't roll. The front wheel drive needs to be lubed up. So he said just go ahead and service it. So I don't even know if I have a linkage for this Kohler. I'm going to have to walk around my scrap yard and look. He said he does have the filter and cover at home, but he forgot to bring it. So I'll mess with this thing after I get the auction mowers squared away. So I got a few out here ready to go. I think this previous yard machine will be a good candidate to sell. I had to change out the recoil. I went to start this morning and the recoil blew apart on the yard machine. And as you know, the recoils are all the same on these. They just changed the sticker. So I'm going to use this Troy-built recoil. So I had this thing apart to wash it, degrease it, and I painted up the block. So the guts here on the yard machine one blew apart. So, not that it matters. These things come out of the same place. They just change these stickers depending on who the buyer is. That's what fell apart. So, I may put this one in the auction. It looks halfway decent. I just got this thing a while back. I think this was part of the Christmas Eve extravaganza. I think I got this yard machine out of that deal. But I went through it, cleaned it up, so I think this one's going to the benefit auction. And maybe this Murray Silver Deck. I spent a lot of time on this head to toe. New recoil rope, new safety brake cable. Rebuilt the carburetor on this 2013 Murray. Went through basically everything on this machine. New air filter, sharpened the blade. So this one might be a potential candidate to auction off. I may send 3. So I may stick around to see what they sell for, or I might try to find out later from my customer how they did. Hopefully they bring large sums of money so they can send the relief down there to Haiti, help those folks out. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Just an update on the 11 for 170. We're making progress with those, and we'll keep knocking those down one by one until we get that group finalized. As always, tip your waitress and wait staff. Have a good day today. Thanks for coming out.